Hi, so I'm about to harvest my lion's mane mushroom. So I say you don't need anything bigger than your head, but this has grown so quickly. You can see it's starting to turn a little bit yellow and it's got icicles on it. If you come a bit closer, you can see how the little icicles are forming. So that means it's ready to eat. And it's a nice big one. So they reckon if you want to get a second flush, you don't cut them off. Last time I cut them off, they say just pull it out. So let's see if we can just pull that off. So, whoop, there we go. So we should get a second flush from that. So it looks like a pair of lungs, doesn't it? Turned inside out. So, oh, it smells great. It's got that real eat me mushroom smell. So I'm just going to cut that little bit of stuff off the back and then just cook them with a bit of cook them with a little bit of garlic and butter. But first let's weigh them to see how much we got from our first flush from our mushroom kit. Okay, so let's put these on the scale and see how much lion's mane mushroom there is. Come have a look at this, please. Wow, there's 623 grams, so well and truly over half a kilo of mushrooms there. Fantastic.
Okay.
Wash this. Get all the little plastics off. It's so soft and spongy. It's like handling sponge foam. So. The bits I've cut off I'm going to put back into the garden and use that as hopefully a way of seeding some lion's mane mushroom to grow in the garden. Okay, so just going to cook them with a bit of butter and garlic, so I'm going to put that on while I just wash and prepare our mushrooms. So I've got a little bit of garlic there. We use a lot of garlic in this household. All we're going to cook them with. Last time we had them, they had a really lobstery, seafoody sort of flavour. So, just going to cut this into slices. Now it does reduce a lot. All mushrooms do, because mushrooms have got a lot of water in them, so when you cook them they do reduce. But essentially just think of cutting a nice thick mushroom steak like that. And then I'm going to put them in the butter and garlic. A little bit more butter in there. So I had that up high just to melt the butter, so I'm going to turn that down a bit. Doesn't take long to cook, probably about 5 minutes. little pieces around the in between. And as you can see, we've got a second serving waiting in there. It's just the little burnt bits, the little bits of garlic that have burned in the bottom of the pan. But that piece, see how it's no longer white? It's taken on a little bit of a rubbery texture. That's all cooked. So you just turn them over in the pan a few times until you get that nice consistency. To try and keep as much moisture in there as possible. Extra other little pieces in there as you go. That for about 5 minutes. We'll come back and turn it over. So we taste tested some of the mushroom, and I think it tasted a little watery, and I'm thinking I perhaps should have waited, let it dry, let it sit on some paper towel before I cooked it. So I put it back in the pan, and as you can see, we've got it nice and crispy brown now. It's really interesting. It's good for the brain, and it looks like, if you have a look at these two pieces, they look like a brain slice, like somebody's cut through the brain. But anyway, we're about to do an official taste test now. See what they're like. So this is just with butter and garlic, left in the pan for about 10 minutes to crisp up. Really nice. It actually does taste like a prawn. It's got the sweetness to it. And it's got the rubbery texture of seafood as well. It's a little bit like a calamari ring. So I'd say the taste is a bit like a cross between the texture of calamari and the taste of a prawn. So if you imagine barbecue garlic prawns, yeah, that's what we've got here. And of course all the goodness that lion's mane mushroom can give you. So very yummy. Cooked in a cast iron pan, so it's got lots of iron in it as well. If you didn't cook it in a cast iron pan, it wouldn't go this dark. You'd see that it would be a slightly lighter colour. But there you go. So I'm just going to pass one over to the cameraman, and he can give you his opinion as well. So what do you think? So what do you think of that, Kenny?
Fantastic.
Yeah, like that? Needs a little bit of salt, I think. That's about it. So wouldn't overcook them, wouldn't overdo them. They didn't reduce as much as what we were thinking that they would from last time. The bigger pieces stayed the same, so we put half a kilo away for tomorrow night's dinner. So we can have brain food for 2 nights. So if you're wondering how to cook your lion's mane mushroom, just simply and gently and enjoy.